Okay, welcome everybody. Section 35, let's jump right in. Here, we are not closing out the deck. I am installing the heater doors. I wanted to show this picture real quick because this is very important. All of this fiddly stuff for the heater doors, a lot better to do while you have the turtle deck off and you close it out. The most important key, which took me a very, very long time to figure out, and then I finally found a Vans Air Force thread on it. Here at the bottom, the nut, the castellated nut with the cotter pin, they have that there specifically because that castellated nut is not supposed to be torqued. It is supposed to be just ever so slightly close to tight, and then you put the cotter pin in so that NAS 1149 332P can rotate freely. You do need to tighten the set screw, but it needs to rotate freely along that arm. It's very fiddly, it's very frustrating, and I'm so glad that I had the turtle deck off so that I could essentially complete that. Everybody says leave the deck off as much as possible. There are a few key things here where you get into a tight spot. The engine mount will have nuts on the back side of it that will essentially make it to where you cannot complete the turtle deck closeout. I opted for 2 pop rivets. It's the same pop rivets that are used at the bottom of the airframe. I called Vans. I talked with a technical counselor, and it's these right here that I'm countersinking. Those 2 closest to the engine mount are the ones that I could not put a rivet in, a solid aluminum rivet in. And so I called Vans, talked with a counselor, and they of course gave me the normal, hey, this is experimental, you may experiment however you like, and we're not going to condone it. However, yes, in theory, if you're looking at it's the same amount of aluminum thickness. So if you look at the very bottom of the aircraft along those runners, yes, it's the same thickness. Yes, we do believe you are fine to do that. However, you are now really experimenting at your own peril. Fine. Okay, I'll buy that off because unfortunately when you leave the turtle deck past the engine mount, you're either saying I'm okay with those pop rivets or you're taking the entire engine and engine mount off just to get 2 solid aluminum rivets in. So just realize that that's what you're doing. Other than that, this is a very basic, simple thing to do. A little bit of, what am I looking for? Sealant near the canopy side, some sealant near the firewall side. They want you to seal from the inside, not the firewall side. I ran a very, very thin small bead also on the firewall side because why not? There's seems to be no harm in there. Every time I step outside of the plans, of course, somehow I get bit. I've yet to get bitten by that. I'm at the point of putting baffles on now at this point, and I don't see how it could be a detriment, but I'm very, very glad that I had all of that off to install the panel and stuff like that. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would do it exactly the same way that I did. 2 pop rivets on either side by the engine mount and call it a day. Of course, I'm saying pop rivets, but they're structural, whatever they are. And yeah, there's a lot of pain involved. It's definitely a 2-person job. Thank goodness for my buddy Mike, or else it just never would have. I mean, you got to find somebody. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else for this section. I don't know how people do it without those inspection panels. You just got to crawl up underneath, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. I'll let this video trail out, and I'll see you in the next one.